I'm Daniela, and in the next minutes, I will cover part 5 and part 6. Let's start with the internal communication plan. To understand where things are for Sinfin, we must know that our company was performing well up until the COVID-19 pandemic hit. Having our brick and mortar stores closed for the duration of the national lockdown was a monumental challenge for our company and all of our employees, as we have to close permanently several stores, and we had to have a lot of our employees in ERTES. That affected our morale and engagement. In addition to having a new work dynamic, having to work in an office and then in a hybrid model and not being able to interact face to face. In order to respond to the general economic climate, we have launched our online retail store so we can reach our customers easily. Unfortunately, the first iteration of the store has had some issues as the site only features a limited catalog and our platform needs to be more user-friendly. In addition, we have had to quickly expand our shipment operations to meet the new delivery and logistical demands. So what are our future commitments towards internal communication efforts? There are mainly 4. First, implementing Slack in order to reduce day-to-day conflict. Slack is an internal business messaging and communication platform that will help our employees to communicate more easily and efficiently. Then, we will facilitate the employees to make more decisions online, as well as increasing the staff identification with the brand and help them feel more part of the company. All these throughout persistent communications through more symbolic methods and constantly communicating the goals of the company. We have to mention that overall our training and communication efforts will aim to support the company's goal. So what are the internal communications plan is going to accomplish in terms of the overall business goal? We must say that this goal is to reinvent the company in line with the current reality without altering the core company values so that the whole workspace is directed towards the same goals. Now, more specifically for our communication department goals, we have 5. First, motivating our personnel in the face of structural challenges, incentivizing engagement and brand identification will result in more efficient work throughout successful cooperation. Second, to define and implement internal information strategies and outline the internal communication systems. In 4th place, we will have to implement direct communications actions, especially through online and digital communications. And last but certainly not least, we aim to strengthen the organizational culture by creating the brand image manual and overseeing its implementation. In terms of our internal communication plans audience, we must say that our efforts will be conducted company-wide. However, each department we will have an adapted internal communication strategy depending on how affected they are by the online retail initiative, as well as how their daily operations have been affected by the pandemic. The audiences for the internal communication plans are in order our employees and their families, the shareholders and the board of directors, and of course our suppliers. All these messages will be handled in a general or segmented manner depending on the objective of each one. So what are our messages? What topics do we want to address, why, and how? Our first 2 messages are aimed to communicate that our main interest is that our employees need to take care of their health and well-being, and that we can ensure everyone's safe return to the offices and points of sale. We need to do this because we need to be working face-to-face again, engaging in self-care, and we want them to have confidence in our health measures. The way we will convey these messages is through general and team meetings and an ambitious communication campaign for the safe return to our offices through Slack, billboards, mailings, and our digital newsletter. Our other 2 messages are aimed to convey that we are innovating to meet the current needs of the market and we need everyone to be successful and that every employee's work has meaning. Our online retail store and other innovations need everyone's collaboration to achieve its objectives. And everybody must understand that what they do is important to achieve Sinfin's overall goals. We will communicate these messages by our communications plans that will support the change management and will include training sessions to manage new systems of communication, as well as a campaign with BTL pieces to be placed on desks and common spaces. Our last two messages are that we're interested in the development of each employee because their performance depends on their growth and training, and we need to understand that their growth benefits everyone. We will convey this by disclosing our development actions for each employee according to their knowledge, experience, and skills. And lastly, we aim to communicate that we are an improved Synfin that communicates more efficiently. That's why our email strategy has been updated to avoid saturation. And along with Slack, our digital newsletter, and other printed forms of communication, we will stress this new image of Synfin. Now, for our internal communication strategies and tools, we divided them in three groups. First, the direct communication meetings that will take the form of town halls, especially having 2 annual plenary meetings and monthly team meetings. Secondly, another strategy and tool will be the events and activities in the form of recognition events, award ceremonies, and celebration of special dates and occasions that carry a certain significance for Synfin. And last, we will have a new information system that entails Slack, an improved email strategy, and our Synfin digital newsletter. When will we communicate all of these messages, strategies, and tools? Well, we want to send the internal communication messages as soon as possible and start diffusing the new plans through meetings, emails, digital newsletters, and Slack, as we have conveyed before. We launched our strategy last month, sending messages during the mornings because these are the most productive times for our employees. We expect that by June, our employees will have adjusted to the new communication approach, while always bearing in mind that we must respect our employees' work schedule and their right to family and personal time.